For great Pokemon TCG product and prices, check out ccgcastle.com.
What's up, guys? Aiden here, and today, for this Deck Tech Thursday, I'm going to be profiling for you guys my Mega Gardevoir deck, or as I like to say, my Mega Broski deck. Now, this is quite an updated version of the last time I profiled the Gardevoir deck, and last time I did a mixture of Despair Ray and Brilliant Arrow. This time it's just a pure Despair Ray deck. I will do a Brilliant Arrow version in the future though, because I really do like that one as well. But without delay, let's get into this amazing deck and show you why it is one of the top contenders in the competitive format right now. So, right here we start for my man Broski himself, Gardevoir EX. Now the lineups here have not changed. 3 Link Blasts and 1 Life Leap. I put the 1 Life Leap in here because even though the 3 Link Blasts and a Luminous Blades are stronger attacks, this is the more quicker attack. So let's say you get stuck with this Gardevoir on the active, and you can just immediately use Life Leap just to do a little bit of damage and heal off a little bit of damage. So it's just a good one to have. Truth be told, you do want to start with Gardevoir overall, but if you could start off with this one, in some matches it's better, but this is overall the much better Gardevoir, especially against the Giratina matchup, because people are a little confused with Giratina. They think that once Giratina is out there, then Mega Gardevoir is gonna have a hard time. No. People overthink that matchup. You wanna know how you beat a Giratina deck? Don't Mega Evolve. Literally just Luminous Blade will win you the game. Because even with Fighting Fury built, they're still not gonna survive a one-shot from this. So, yeah, that's why it's mainly the Link Blast and Luminous Blade. Just a great way to deal with Giratina. And also Link Blast isn't bad too. 2 energy, 30, and possibly 100. So, not bad at all. And as I said, this is a pure Despair Ray deck. Gonna be running 3 copies of Mega Gardevoir EX, the dual type. I love the dual type thing. I really hope that somewhere along the Sun and Moon sets they bring these back, because to me, this was just such a good idea. Like, why aren't they doing more of these? But I digress. But anyway, Despair Ray is an amazing attack. For 110 damage, you could discard any Pokemon from your bench at how many as you like, and for each one does 10 more. So stuff like, say, Shaman or Hoopa that just linger on your bench, or even a really damaged up Gardevoir, instead of just leaving them there for your opponent to Lysander up and take easy prizes, you just get rid of them so they have to deal with the Mega at hand. And for a lot of decks, any kind of Mega is hard to deal with. So, great card here. And once again, the dual typing is great for not even just anything weak to Fairy, but weak to Psychic X-Swell. Like, even with how powerful as Mega Mewtwo is, like, honestly, guys, if you face Mega Mewtwo, that's like your auto win because of this dual typing right here. Like, you don't even have to discard anything from your bench to knock out Mewtwo. So, if you guys are ever worried about the Mewtwo matchup, wherever you may go, just know that bring this, and that, I guarantee you, is your auto win. Like, let me tell you what a Mewtwo player quickly can do against a Gardevoir. They sit down, they get on their knees, and they pray you draw Brad. That is literally the only thing a Mewtwo deck can do against this. Sorry about that. I just wanted to show you guys how just amazing matchup this thing has with it. And next up here, I run 3 copies of the meta itself, Bboc. Now, the standard for Mega Gardevoir decks is 4 Shaman, which I really do not agree with whatsoever. Because 1, even with 3, I go through the deck so quickly as it is. And also, I really do not want to start with this guy. As much as I love him, and he's adorable, don't want to start with him. So you basically just set him down, you draw until you have 6, and then use the Despair Ray to discard him and shuffle him back to your deck with some tools, not tools, items or supporters, and you just do the mess all over again. So it's great. And to search off these wonderful EXs, we have 2 copies of Hoopa EX. Now it's usually just 1. But for Gardevoir, 2 is perfect because you're discarding, shuffling back to the deck, all that good stuff. So having 2 Hoopa here is just perfect for that. Being able to search up to 3 Pokemon EX is amazing for this deck. Just amazing. My last Pokemon here I'm running is 2 copies of Dragonite EX. Now, this card right here is why Gardevoir is one of the top decks nowadays. Because the ability to pull up is just too good. Just set it down on your bench, and you can pick 2 basic Pokemon for your discard pile, except for Dragonite EX, and add them back to your hand. So let's say you've got a Hoopa and a Shaman. Boom, pick those up right there. Or say if you got like some Gardevoirs in your discard, pick them up. Just too good. Not to mention, this is the perfect thing to get from a pull-up because you could set that down, get 3 Pokemon, bench them all, boom, and then you just draw. So Dragonite is a great card to help get your combos going. And again, it is why Gardevoir is one of the top tier decks now. All right, so that about does it for my Pokemon. And now for my supporter lineup. Got 3 copies of Sycamore and 3 copies of N. Now, I usually run 4 Sycamore, but since we're running 3 Shaman in our deck, you really do not need 4 Sycamore at all. So a 3-3 line for this deck is absolutely perfect. Hey, look, I got 2 full out ends now. I'm so happy. Someone actually, I kid you not, guys. Quick story. Over at the Florida Regionals, a fan literally just gave me this card. And I swear I hugged him and I almost cried. Because that was just so amazing. And I got 2 full out ends now. I'm sorry about that. I really wish they do for anyone they did for Skylight and make another full art. Because if they do, especially if it has the Zora in it with him, that would be the best thing ever. Alright. Next up for supporters, I have 2 copies of Lysander. Standard reasons just to get a Pokemon from your opponent's bench onto the active. You really want to get Shaman with this because Gardevoir is already automatically one-shotting Shaman. So 110 is just a perfect number to hit for that. Not to mention also Hoopa too. This thing could definitely one-shot. My broski could definitely one-shot Hoopa as well. So Sherry and Hoopa are going to be your best targets with Lysander. And now I actually run quite a few of one-of supporters here. Run 1 copy of Hexmaniac, 1 Ninja Boy, 1 Pokemon Ranger, 1 Misty's Determination, and 1 Brock's Grit. Now, Brock's Grit is another thing that has made Mega Gardevoir pretty good because you could shuffle. It's basically a supporter version of Super Rod, but double. So you get 6 of any combination of basic energy and Pokemon instead of the usual 3. And so yeah, you can get a lot of stuff from your discard. Mainly energy you want to focus on. Yeah. So yeah, it's mainly the energy. Sometimes Pokemon too, like your Megas for example, because you can't pick them up with Dragonite. But yeah, and not to mention the supporters, just play a VS Secret, use it again and again. Misty's Determination, I feel is actually a pretty underrated card. Because here's what it does, that you can discard a card from your hand, and then you look at the top 8 cards of your deck and you search for any card there and put it onto your hand. Now, again, this really didn't see much play when it came out in Breakpoint, forgive me. But I've been testing it out a lot, and I've actually won games because of this card right here. Just me being able to just search the 1 card I needed just to turn the game around. So, again, I definitely feel this is an underrated card and should definitely see more play. Pokemon Ranger here, really good card for your deck. Helps you deal with stuff like Giratina and Regice, either blocking your hand from stadiums or blocking your EXs from attacking, because this is a pure EX deck. So, yep, and if you just see a Regice anywhere, boom, Pokemon Ranger them, knock that thing out. Ninja Boy is just for you when you have those really bad starts, when you ever start with a Dragonite, a Hoopa, or a Shaman. Now, all 3 of those are really bad starts, so Ninja Boy helps with that. And Hex, just a way to show off abilities, especially if you're going against those safeguards. Boom, like Carbink, just bench that. No, not bench it, play the Hex Maniac, turn off the safeguard. And also there's a lot of annoying abilities out there too, mine is Shaman, to where I would say this is more of a turn 1 card, but this card can come in clutch to late game. So there's that, and that does it for my supporters. And now on to the items. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 Ultra Ball, and 4 VS Seeker. Goodness, I really hope we get VS Seeker reprinted in some of the Sun and Moon sets ahead, because I really don't know what we're going to do once we lose VS Seeker. It's going to be crazy, crazy. I mean, then again, we did manage to get through a format with VS Seeker during Black and White just fine without it, so maybe it won't be that bad. And also 4 copies of Ultra Ball, just standard. Discard 2, search any Pokemon you want, preferably Hoopa, just to thin your deck out even more. Alright, next up here on our standard items is going to be 4 copies of Trainer's Mail. And yes, I realize that these 3 of them are golden, but this is my broski deck we're talking about, guys. This is my main broski. He needs all the bling he can get. Yeah, so just look at any top 4. Just look at the top 4 cards of your deck and get out any trainer except for Trainer's Mail. And also here I run 4 copies of Max Elixir. Now, this is a little different because a lot of Gardevoir deck lists have Mega Turbo instead. And I've tried Mega Turbo, and don't get me wrong, it works okay. But personally, I just always felt like I was discarding my Mega Turbos just for with an Ultra Ball or Professor Sycamore or something like that. And I just find that wow, listen to me. I find that Max Elixir gets the job done quicker. But that's just my opinion. If you guys would rather go with the Mega Turbo, that's completely up to you as a player. But my personal preference is the Max Elixir, and it has done me wonders. Forgive me, had a hiccup there. And also, what's a Mega Gardevoir? Whoops, that's not a Spirit Link. What's a Mega Gardevoir deck without Gardevoir Spirit Link? Now, it will always get me upset that the Steam Siege Spirit Link is literally just a reprint of the Primal Clash one. Like, they could have at least made it shiny, but no. But, oh well, what can you do? And now for stadiums, run 2 copies of Skyfield and 1 copy of Fairy Garden. Now, this used to be all Fairy Garden, which if you want to have this all Fairy Garden, you can. It's just, I always find myself just hard retreating the Gardevoir anyway, because it's either too damage to stay up there, to bring up a fresh Gardevoir and just get rid of it with the Spare Ray. And the Skyfield's there obviously to increase your bench size, so you get more Pokemon on your bench, and in like a late game assault, just discard your whole bench for game. So, there's that there. And that does it for the supporters. That does it for the stadiums. Listen to me. And now for our energy count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just 10 basic fairy energy. And that about does it for this deck here. As you can see, guys, Gardevoir is a very, very powerful deck. Not to mention, last time I profiled this, I actually won. But I'm not going to say I'm going to win this time because I don't want to jinx myself. But all I'm saying is that Gardevoir is a top tier deck for a reason. And yeah, that about does it for this video. If you guys like this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And stick around for tomorrow, where I face off against Professor K's Pidgeot Jolteon Garbodor deck. So let's see how I do from there. Alright guys, until next time, this has been Ed with the Pokemon Evolutionaries, and I will see you guys later.